Okay, this is an improper integral. It's going towards infinity. That's why it's improper. And let me see if there's any other problem with it. I don't see any other problems with it. So what I want to do is I want to do integration by parts first. In other words, I'm not going to look at the limits, not going to put 0 infinity down for you. So I'm going to put down, and again, when I do this over here, we've done this before, but I want to continue to, follow the principle that we've always been doing. So let's take a look at that. I don't know, maybe u equals, I'm going to say cosine 3x. Right, you might want to say something different, but that's fine. Du is minus sine 3x times 3. Put it down that way. This means dv is e to the minus 4x dx, and v would be e to the minus 4x over minus 4. So if I were to, do this guy over here, and I know it's a lot of work up front, but I can write this down. It's going to be minus, let's take a careful look at this. I got a 4 here, e to the 4x here. That's the v, and the u is cosine 3x. Minus v, well, that's going to be plus. I'm going to pull a quarter out, and I get e to the minus 4x. And then what do you get? Well, the du is going to be minus 3. Let me get my eraser out again. And it's going to be cosine of, sine. Forgot to put dx there, sorry. All right, I think I'm, sort of getting warmer, but not there yet. Then write down I got over here e to the minus 4x cosine 3x is equal to minus cosine 3x over 4e to the 4x. And then it's going to be minus 3/4. And then you're going to get this integration, e to the minus 4x sine 3x dx. I'm going to try again. It didn't get any worse. It looks like the same problem, actually. And so what do you mean by that? If I looked at this one here is of the same level of difficulty. So I'm going to try again. If we've seen these before, by the way, and I'll write down this over here, that u equals sine of 3x. And du would be cosine 3x times 3. This means dv would be e to the minus 4x dx, or v would be e to the minus 4x over minus 4. All right, let's keep going. And I'll write down, this is going to be e to the minus 4x cosine. I just noticed looking at my work that I forgot to put a dx over here. Put it in now. Equals minus cosine 3x 4e to the 4x minus 3/4. Now we're using integration by parts. We're going to get, let's see, minus, I'm doing uv, right? Sine 3x over, let's see, I'm doing uv, right? So 4 e to the 4x. And then, let's see, minus the v du. So we got plus, I'm going to pull a quarter out, e to the minus 4x. I'm going to pull a 3 out, and then you're going to get cosine 3x dx. I forgot the dx again. All right, I'm going to put a little parentheses on this one over here, and I'm going to remove I'm going to put this equal sign over here now. So minus cosine 3x 4e to the 4x. This is going to be plus 3/16 e to the 4x, and then you get sine 3x here. Then you get minus 9/16 e to the minus 4x cosine 3x dx. All right? What do I notice now? I notice that this guy here is same as this guy over here. So basically just add it to both sides. All right? Now if you do that, what do you get? I know I got to write that down, by the way. That's going to be, let's see, 25/16 e to the minus 4x cosine 3x dx. And what's that going to equal? It's going to equal this thing over here. Again, I added this to both sides. So I write that down. It's equal to, I can write a little differently, 3/16 e to the 4x sine 3x, and then minus cosine 3x over 4e to the 4x plus c. All right? So someone says, what are you going to do now? I gotta multiply both sides by 16/25. Let's write that down. And again, I'm multiplying both sides by 16/25. Let's write it down. And again, I'm multiplying this whole thing by 16/25. So you can get 3/25 sine 3x, and then you get e to the 4x minus, well, 4 goes into 16 4 times, so 4/25 cosine 3x over e to the 4x. And then I'm going to say another constant. Let me just call this C1, and I'm going to call this C now. All right. So I'm going to say, boy, that was a lot of work we got there. All right. So getting there, I want to just see if they got there in the K. So were they able to do this over here? In other words, do I see this? Well, sort of. The only difference is I put e to the 4x in the bottom. They have e to the minus 4x. Am I seeing this? Yeah, I'm seeing everything. Now, of course, they C1, C2. I just called it C. All right? So once we're there, I mean, it's relatively simple to write it down. And what I mean by that, you take this thing over here, and you put the limits of integration in, and you evaluate. And what would that look like? Well, you're going to take this thing here, without the C, by the way, plug it in here, put the limits of integration, and then plug it in. And let's just do that. Right? If you were to plug it in, what would you get? You would get 3e to the minus 4r sine 3r over 25. I'm just doing the r now. 4e to the minus 4r. And then you're going to get cosine 3r over 25. That's the upper limit. When you do the lower limit, it's 0, right? So it's going to be minus. Well, this guy's going to be 0, but this guy over here is going to be minus a minus, which is plus 4 over 25. All right, let's just look at the key and see if that's written down. I do see 4 over 25. Let's see. That looks like they're putting the e in the bottom now. So let's see, 3 sine 3r. I got that. E to the minus 4r is going to be e to the 4r on the bottom. So I got that covered. Do they have this one covered? They do. Sine, whoops. There's a mistake here. I got to make a correction in the key. This is cosine 3r. All right, there's a correction. I gotta remember to make that correction now. I hope I do. If you see it though, and you're watching the video, please bring it out to me and say, you know what, you made a mistake, you didn't correct it. So anyway, I think I did okay there, with the exception maybe I copied a sign when it should have been a cosine. All right, so I think I did okay. And then what do? You do the limit as r goes to infinity. All right, now I want to see if what's written over here is what I want. All right, so I got the 4/25. I got this part over here. I notice that the correction's been made over here, by the way, and you get this over here. And what's nice about these two limits over here, as r goes to infinity, this goes to 0 and that goes to 0, so you're left off at 4/25. All right, I'm gonna correct this though, and I will do that. This needs to be correct. Just correct this. Thank you.